Imagine you wake up tomorrow and your money is worth less than it was yesterday. Not because you bought something, not because you invested badly, just because the number changed. That's what a currency spiral feels like. And right now, Iran is living through a version of that story, where the rial keeps sliding, prices keep jumping, and people are stuck trying to protect their lives in real time. Let's dive right in, because if you understand one idea from this video, it's this. A currency isn't just paper, it's trust. And when trust breaks, the economy starts acting weird. Now, here's the number everyone is watching. Recent reporting says the US dollar on the unofficial market has been quoted around 1.47 million rials. That number matters because it's not just a statistic, it changes the price of everything people touch. So let's slow this down and make it simple. Step 1. The currency drops. When a currency drops hard, it means it takes more of your money to buy the same thing from outside the country. And modern life is full of imported stuff. Phones, car parts, medicine ingredients, industrial machines, even packaging. So if the currency weakens, those items get more expensive. Step 2. Stores raise prices. Businesses don't raise prices because they're evil. They raise prices because their costs rise. If a store has to pay more to restock, they have to charge more to survive. So price tags move fast. And the worst part? Prices can rise today even if the new shipment hasn't arrived yet, because sellers expect the next shipment to cost more. That's how inflation feels like it's chasing you. Step 3. Paychecks don't keep up. Here's the thing. Prices can update instantly, but wages move slowly. If food gets more expensive this month, most people don't magically get a raise next month, so purchasing power gets squeezed. People feel like they're working the same amount for less life. Step 4. People rush to protect their savings. This part is wild. When people stop trusting the currency, they look for anything that holds value better. Some buy dollars, some buy gold, some buy durable goods, some buy inventory for their business. Some buy literally anything that won't melt away. Not because they're greedy, because they're scared. And this has a side effect. When more people rush to escape the local currency gets even weaker. It becomes a feedback loop. Fear pushes people to protect themselves, protection weakens the currency, a weaker currency creates more fear, and the cycle repeats. Step 5. The economy splits into two worlds. This is where it gets confusing. There's an official world, the rate on paper, the policy world, and there's the street world, what people actually pay, what businesses actually face, what families actually feel. That gap is where chaos grows, because it creates confusion, it creates loopholes, and it turns daily life into a guessing game. Now, if this was only about currency, it would already be heavy. But right now, it's also about what happens socially when daily life gets squeezed too hard. You'll see reports of shops closing, you'll see commercial areas becoming pressure points, you'll see people saying, "We can't survive like this." Because when the cost of living rises faster than people can adapt, the pressure doesn't stay quiet, it shows up. And then something else happened that poured fuel on uncertainty: the internet blackout. I'm going to keep this focus on economics, not politics. But from an economic angle, cutting communication does something powerful. It breaks the flow of information. And in markets, when information disappears, rumors take over. If people can't verify what's happening, they assume the worst. If businesses can't communicate, trade slows down. Payments get harder. Supply chains get messier. Trust drops again. So even if a shutdown is meant to control something, it can also create real economic damage by freezing normal life. Now, let's talk about inflation, because this is the part that hits hardest. Inflation isn't just prices rising. Inflation is uncertainty. It makes planning impossible. If you don't know what food will cost next month, you can't budget. If you don't know what inventory will cost next week, you can't run a business. If you don't know what savings will be worth next year, you can't relax. That's why inflation creates emotional stress, because money stops feeling stable. And according to IMF projections, Iran's inflation is expected to remain extremely high in 2026, while economic growth is projected to be very low. Translation: even if things don't collapse, life can still feel tight because prices keep rising faster than normal and growth isn't strong enough to offset it. So what's the real story here? It's not just one bad week. It's a trust problem that turns into a math problem, and the math problem turns into a life problem. Here's an analogy. Imagine you're playing a video game where your coins lose value every hour. At first, you try to ignore it. Then you start spending faster because saving feels pointless. Then you start hoarding items because items hold value better than coins. Then everyone does it. And now the whole game economy becomes unstable. That's what a currency spiral does to a country. It changes behavior, and behavior changes outcomes. Now, let's be clear. Economies can stabilize. Currencies can stop falling, inflation can slow down, confidence can rebuild. But it usually requires one thing first. People need a reason to believe the currency will hold value tomorrow, because without that, no policy speech matters, no promise matters, only outcomes matter. Now, here's the part most people don't realize. A currency crisis is not just financial, it's psychological. If citizens expect their money to lose value, they behave in a way that makes it lose value faster. If businesses expect costs to rise, they raise prices earlier. If people expect shortages, they buy more now. If investors expect instability, they exit. So expectations become reality. So if you're watching this and thinking, okay, but why is this trending all over social media? Because this kind of story is extremely visual. A currency crash creates moments people can see: the exchange rate boards, the price tags, the closed shops, the screenshots, the no internet moments. And people share it because they're trying to make sense of it, and because sharing becomes a form of survival and visibility. That's why it spreads fast. So what crisis is Iran facing right now? It's a cost of living crisis powered by a currency crisis. When the rial keeps losing value, prices don't just rise, they become unpredictable. And when prices become unpredictable, people can't plan. Families can't budget, small businesses can't restock confidently, and saving stops feeling safe. That's why this moment feels so intense, because it's not just inflation, it's the feeling that the ground under your money is moving. And you can see it in the things people are reacting to: the exchange rate jumping, shops struggling, and communication disruptions making everything feel even more uncertain.
I'm Leo, your wealth guide. See you in the next video.